Hey there, my name is Casidy Cerkez, and this is my video essay. Everyone has had that moment where they revisit a favorite film from their youth only to have the experience ruined by visually appalling CGI. Just recently, I was sitting with my mom as she was browsing the channels. She eventually stopped on The Matrix Reloaded during the scene known as the Burly Brawl. The scene in particular is not terrible, and it does not make the movie itself bad, but it does take the viewer out of the film. Since it's still early in this video essay, I want to make it clear that I am not against CGI or for practical effects. Instead, I am arguing that CGI, when overused or misused, can and will detract the realism from a film, and current technological advancements allow for more of this misuse. Jumping right back into the Burly Brawl, there are multiple aspects that turn this scene from a badass action sequence into an outlandish Play-Doh fight. The most apparent is the overly smooth CGI that did not stand the test of time. It's not that the CGI was cheap or poorly done, but rather that since computers improve on an exponential curve, it's difficult to make CGI hold up, so to say. This relates to the next point, which is that content creators desire to show off what their CGI can do at that moment. Every sort of effect, whether it be CGI or practical, has its limitations, but filmmakers took into account the weaknesses of their practical effects. An example of this done properly and improperly can be seen during the self-repair scene in Terminator 2. The audience is shown Arnold repairing his damaged limb under a bright lamp and in clear view for the audience to see. It is convincing and painful to watch, but hands have less details than human faces. In the next graphic part of the scene, Arnold begins repair to his robotic eye. The first few shots in this sequence are well done and show how good framing and lighting can make terrible effects realistic. There are heavy shadows on the dummy's face, the actor's hands are reduced in the amount shown, and the shot is relatively short in length. The next shot goes against the previous shots and honestly the entire rest of the film. The creators felt the need to show off their Arnold replica, but failed to hit the mark. Although this example used practical effects, these same issues appear in digitized effects as well, and are often even more noticeable. To change the conversation from practical to CGI, we will begin to talk about Jurassic Park. It is often said that Jurassic Park 3, created in 2001, features noticeably worse effects than that of the original created in 1993. The reasons for this are the same reasons that make the Terminator 2 repair scene so bad. Here we will compare the T-Rex scene from Jurassic Park 1 and the Spinosaur vs. T-Rex scene in Jurassic Park 3.
Dr. Grant?
Absolutely still. This vision's based on movement.
It's okay, it's dead. Nobody move a muscle.
This desire to show off CGI comes along with a few other issues. 1. It's all about the shot now. The CGI can be the action, it can be the suspense, and it can be the entire story for that matter. The battle between the two dinosaurs is immense and shows the power of the Spinosaur, but does not add much besides something to look at. 2. CGI should be shock and awe and used under the right circumstances to amaze the audience. If not, it wears off quickly. Kristen Thompson and David Bordwell discuss in their essay on the waning thrills of CGI the boredom that can come from overused and predictable CGI. 3. Actors are no longer reacting and acting to the environment around them. Ian McKellen often talks about how acting has changed. He often describes how it is no longer about human interactions anymore. Ian McKellen also revealed that he cried when seeing the green screens used for The Hobbit when compared to the practical effects of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. When the object is actually present, it is easier for an actor and audience to sense the real danger. Some other issues with CGI and realism include a lack of impact or distorted physics, a confusing and difficult to follow camera, and the overused color grading of film. All of these aspects come together to take a piece of believability away from the final project. Every subsequent Marvel film, Star Wars film, or Fast and the Furious film becomes more and more of a ridiculous cacophony of unnecessary and jarring effects.